First order of business is the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
Moved.
Second? Aye. In favor? Aye. Second on our agenda is a slight derivation. Mr. Gooding has asked to a few moments to make a salute to preservationists past.
Like a bad penny, he's back.
Like a bad penny.
Thank you for letting me come. It's probably the first time I've been to the CPF board since being on the council, I guess. My issue today is that I just will talk a little bit about. I promise I won't try to ramble too much and try to take up too much time, but we've had some people who passed recently that were very instrumental in community preservation, and I just thought it was a good opportunity to perhaps look at what you folks do and what other people were before you did in terms of community preservation, but specifically Michael Coles, was on the, who everybody knows Michael Coles, and he was really very instrumental in community preservation, him along with Jim Doherty. Basically, I'm not going to say they're the founders, but they really, and I think Chuck, you'll vouch for that, how instrumental they were at the very beginning in putting these things together. You know, Michael, I only knew after being on preservation, and I can tell you that he was a preservationist, he belonged to multiple groups, and he was always supportive of this committee. And I always looked at how could I perhaps follow in his footsteps, for all the things that he did with Jim Doherty. I guess today I'm sort of thought it would be appropriate that we recognize a very important person that was involved with preservation, a man who did not want to be acknowledged. He usually worked behind the scenes, whether it was with Peconic Land Trust or it was the Nature Conservancy or even with CPF. He was really, will be sorely missed, and I just thought it would be appropriate for our committee to take a couple of minutes out to just acknowledge his hard work, and I recall my not first, but a couple of meetings with him, and I said, I said to Michael, I'm not a preservationist, I came out of the business environment, and he said, no, you got the right skill set, you can do it, and for all those 9 years that I was involved with preservation, he had always been there, and always a supporter of preservation, so and he's still there today, so I just like this, acknowledge him being a good steward, and quite honestly, I always felt that my obligation is I was just following his footsteps. I was following Doherty's footsteps. I was following Mike Glassby's footsteps. I was following past leaders, and what you folks are doing, is really important. It's important to protect our, you do so much with land protection in the aquifer. So I just wanted to acknowledge the passing of Michael Coles, The other thing that I would really like to talk about, we talk about property owners, when, part of the land acquisition is we deal with folks who really want to do right by the community, And there are so many people that I couldn't list all the people that are pro-community housing. Another passing, that we had that was very instrumental was George White, from the White Artist Lane property that we have. the whole thing took a long time to get accomplished, but it was interesting how that really came about where, one time George said to me, well, how come you guys didn't come forward and talk to us, okay? And I asked him, I said, well, why didn't you ever bring it to CPF, okay? But it's really a history book now, but that family, we really are beholding to them. And yes, we purchased the property in joint venture with Suffolk County, but George was very instrumental. Bert, who is here today, his family, okay, have been good stewards. We're really fortunate to have Bert adjacent to our preserved land. And then I got to thinking about, all the things that other people that I have dealt with that have been gracious enough to include CPF and help protect our properties, okay? And I thought about a gentleman, Steve Lennox, okay, who is still thinking about the people who really helped preservation, okay? Steve Lennox, okay, who's a local on the island. He's something that he always was helpful. We went to the White property many times together once we were starting to do that. He was very instrumental in bringing some of our earlier acquisitions together on Conwin Creek with the Scudder family, okay? He was able to bring them to my house, and we had a conversation. Unfortunately, both Peter and Elizabeth have passed on, but they had the right meaning. They knew what it was like to preserve Shelter Island. They were really Shelter Islanders. We can even call them locals because they could have done other things with their property, but they chose not to. Ed Schillingberg, okay, is still part of CPF. He's part of your group, okay? He's your seventh member, okay? Again, it's not about one person, okay? It's always about a whole group of people with the same goals and the same initiatives to get something accomplished, okay? Preservation we should be very happy to have Tim, Kathy, Ed Schillingberg, put this book together. It actually started that This Land Is Your Land, started as community preservation, okay? They were really, there's the book that Tui has, okay? But that's our mantra. That's how that book began, over looking at preserved lands and being proud of the things that we've done in the open space. The other people that we always deal with, which we really hardly ever give any acknowledgement to, okay? Obviously, the Historical Society, pretty important, because when you want to get history and you want to find out more about the property, okay, they play a very big role. The town assessor, which we have worked with, and I'm sure you work with a lot. The group for the East End has been very instrumental. The Suffolk County Real Estate Division, been more than friends with community preservation in terms of doing joint ventures, okay, and they're a real asset. Peconic Land Trust I mentioned. And the other thing that we sometimes forget is our local realtors. We sometimes have a mixed message with realtors who sell real estate, and who are they? But the realtors that I've dealt with in community preservation have been honorable people, okay? They know, they've actually bought property and that was there that could have gone in different directions. So then we got the Esther Hunt of the world, okay? Remember, this group, all of us here, okay, this is the group that really opened up a lot of these CPF properties for public enjoyment, okay? And, but it's not about us, okay? It's about the George Whites of the world, okay? It's about Jim Doherty's, okay? It's about the Michael Coles. It's about all these people who have the same goals, which is to protect our environment here on Shelter Island. That's what we're really all about. So on that note, I would just like to say, thank you for letting me speak a little bit, and I think it would be probably appropriate. I can't give him a golden watch like we did with other people, okay? But then maybe just a minute of silence would be appropriate, okay? Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
Before you go, Gordon, I know that you had a big impetus in this amazing book. And anybody else, we don't have much of an audience today, but this is just incredible. And everybody should be very proud of this accomplishment. And perhaps you're inspiring preservationists of the future who will read this and say, oh, I can help, I can do something here. And the history of the island, if you want to know, if you don't know history of the island, you can certainly get an awful lot by going to.
Julie, this is put together, this is not me.
No, I know.
You know, where we played a role was basically trying to getting the acquiring of the property. It's just this is really Tim, Kathy, Ed Schillingberg, and it's a good thing that we have, okay? So, I mean, when we say this land is your land, it is in fact the island's land, okay?
Right.
And I think it's a good history book, okay? And I will make the offer if anyone has, since I was instrumental in, I guess, somehow or other, but anyone who does not have a book and would like a book, okay, I would be glad to contribute a book to you, okay? And so.
Hell you will, they'll pay for it.
You're not happy about it, but that's the way it goes, okay? But thanks so much, okay? And all I can say is just keep doing it.
Thanks, Gordon.
Thanks. On to the financial report. Chase Bank, opening balance of $369,787, with an interest payment of $513, two expenditures of roughly $8,000, giving us a balance of $362,380. And in the class account, starting balance was $7,321,379, with an interest payment of $25,874 and a tax payment of $82,126, for a total in that account of $7,429,380, and a total in both accounts of $7,791,761. And noting that our year-to-date revenue, although it's always 2 months behind, is $689,115. Certainly lagging. So.
What are you reading from?
2025 county revenue year-to-date.
Gotcha.
So that's where we are.
We order an audit report for last year?
There is an audit report. I don't think it's completed yet. To the best of my understanding, this,
Did we order that or?
no, I didn't order it. The town orders it.
Oh. So they ordered it.
Yes. As far as I know, there was some discussion at WQI about the audit being
Oh, really?
almost completed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
On to stewardship and property maintenance. Tim?
So I met with Andrew Senesak,
It's hard to say.
pronouncing his name wrong, last Thursday for about 2 hours. And we went first to West Neck Preserve. He's actually written up a report, which I couldn't print out last night, and it's too late to send it to, but I'll send it out to everybody when I get home. Essentially, we walked through the whole preserve and looked at everything that's growing there right now. So there were a lot of sort of minor invasive things growing that he just pointed out to me. But the main thing I want to bring up today is for that preserve is mile a minute. It's always waiting. It's now covering not a huge amount of it, but a section of it. And it's mostly covering over black raspberry. Black raspberry. Anyway, they're very thorny bushes. This is not a volunteer job. Oh, so the berries are there, but they're not ripe yet, but they will be ripe in a couple of weeks. When it happens, birds will take them or they'll start falling to the ground. And it'll just make it more complicated next year and from now on. So I would really like to get that stuff out as soon as possible. I don't think it's a volunteer job because it's not just in the edge, but it goes over a whole section of the carpet. So I'm not sure how.
And this is where?
It's in West Neck.
Yeah, but where?
It's in the back, in a section near the road that goes across. And the source of all this is coming from the 2 acres and beyond
Yes.
on the other side, which is infested with the stuff. So it's just a matter of time. So that's one thing. And then we did talk about, which is also sort of outlined in the report, but we talked a lot about replanting stuff and what to do this fall. And again, I think ideally I would like to till the mugwort again and then come in with a group of volunteers to rake all the remnants, get those up first so they don't re-root. Then I'd like to take one section which does not have a lot of mugwort, if possible, to do this fall, like September and October, is actually start planting one section, not with a meadow, but with shrubs and potentially some 1 or 2 trees. This will be on the Nostrand side going towards Quinnipiac. And then also taking one section that's near the parking lot and actually making that section sort of a test plot to again, till and rake, but also weed it. And not plant the heavy winter crop, but something lighter that will die out in the winter. These are Andy's suggestions. And then the other parts of it, we would till and then plant a winter crop. So what I actually propose doing is actually having a little field trip, if possible this week. So I could just point out all this stuff and walk the committee through it, whoever can come. But the main thing right now is really addressing the mile a minute there. And then we also went to North Monantic Preserve because I just wanted to show him the mile a minute there. We didn't spend a lot of time there, didn't walk through it because there's no point. You can just tell right away what's going on. One thing that is interesting is all the porcelain vine that was along the tennis court fence is all gone,
Those guys took it out.
which is great.
We had volunteers down there for the tennis group.
Yeah,
We move all around the fencing mainly so that you can view some of the courts from outside the court.
yeah. Well, the other part was just getting rid of that really bad plant. But anyway, the mile a minute is just really extensive there. So I want to talk to Andy again, but he sort of said this year, just leave it because it's so much of it and how are we going to get all that stuff out? But maybe there is a way to do it. So we should go there and take a look and then get back to Andy. And then there's also, which Ned has pointed out to me before, there's a non-native Devil's Walking Stick that grows a lot in there, and right now it's sort of covered by the Mile a Minute. But,
In that first field, if you will, as you drive in, park the
yeah,
car
there's, so
back.
there's some on the left there, but then across from that, just across the path, there's a lot of it there. It's only this big.
Mm.
But, and interestingly, I wanted to show them, I visited George and Julie Hume's house where they're doing a lot of clearing. And they have Devil's Walking Stick blooming in different areas, which they've been sort of not cultivating, but leaving. And the question was, is that the native or the non-native? Andy has told me that there is no native walking stick anymore in Long Island. Anyway, he's going to get back on that.
In that first field, if you will, we did mow the whole thing down because it was completely covered in Devil's Walking.
Everything.
And is it coming back there?
Yeah, it is. It's hard to tell, but you can sort of see parts of it poking through. It's like this side.
So maybe we need to go back in and mow more.
Yeah, I guess for me, the question with, again, the Mile a Minute at North Manatee is still, the berries are still small. So they're, they've got a couple of weeks till they start dropping and getting consumed. So, the question is, can we, Andy seemed inclined to leave it alone for some reason, but maybe because there's just so much of it. But, not to leave it alone permanently.
Right.
Anyway, but, so we should just go look at it and then make a very quick decision about what we want to do about it. And
Do you know what day you might be doing it? You wanna go down there with a few of us?
well, the other thing are ticks.
Yeah,
I'm leery of going into anything. It's also very prickly stuff.
Yeah.
So you can wear Tyvek or something, which I've been doing. Andy and I both suited up to go into all these places. But, I don't want to invite people into a place where they could get ticks or nibs or anything like that. We can go look at it, you can think about it, but it's not a simple job. Although it does lift out, it's not heavily rooted because it's an annual. But we can go there and assess how to proceed. Andy is doing a Mile a Minute study, but he hasn't come to sort of the final conclusions of it. His feeling is that because it's an annual and it starts later in the season, when it starts covering stuff, is that a lot of the stuff that it covers has already been up sooner and has sort of taken advantage of all the sun they can get for a while. So that the sort of the Mile a Minute doesn't completely, but he did concede that if you just get layer upon layer of dead stuff and then new stuff on top of it, you eventually do get a heavy layer of stuff that will eventually impact everything underneath.
Okay.
That's it.
Just, everybody knows all the maps are in and placed. So, that's a good thing.
if everybody could take some maps and just keep them in cars, so if you go past one of the kiosks, it looks like it needs to be filled up.
Just and then,
There's some here, and I also have a box and a half in my garage.
Talking about the ever-present discussion of property lines, et cetera. We're still waiting for the surveyor to come back with his estimate to put the boundary markers in. But in the meantime, Chuck found a pretty interesting app,
Yeah,
which we will put up here.
she has done.
So this app is called ONX Elite. And it's got multiple applications. There's a hunting portion to it. There's an off-road vehicle portion to it. There's a backcountry hiking portion to it. But if you look at this, it literally shows everybody's property boundary lines. And Chuck, you tested it, right?
Yeah, so I walked on the White property last week, and do you have a picture of what I sent?
If you give me a minute, I can pull it up.
Okay.
Where does it get its
But
information?
it gives you GPS location of where you are, and I was actually standing on a property line, and right there,
There was the survey marker, right?
there was a survey marker there,
Yeah.
so it's like right on.
Where does it get all this information from?
I don't know.
I don't know. If I knew, I'd be making, it was my idea years ago to come up with something like this.
I did actually contact the company, which there was no phone number, you can't call them, but I emailed to find out if there was an application for CPF, like could we put it into the QR codes?
Right.
And so anybody who was there could pull up the boundaries and know where to be. But there's a process.
I saw Ken Lewis. Ken Lewis is gonna get it on his own,
Okay,
because it's beneficial for him. But I did cancel my subscription, because it was only a trial subscription.
right,
I canceled it, and then they came back with an email that this one right here is for all 50 states. We don't need all 50 states.
right.
But for one single state, it was I think it was $39 a year
Right.
for that. So, I mean, reasonable.
Well, I want to try to figure out if we can do it with the QR codes.
Yeah.
Maybe, do it as a across the board app.
I think we
but I
have,
don't know.
maybe ask Kevin about that, Kevin Mansky.
Well, I have to ask the company first to see, because that's the way I presented it to
You
them.
can't because it's paid for.
Did you find it, Jess?
Yes.
So it's actually the two-week, single state.
Right.
files.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly something we should have.
Yeah,
Whether or not we can, how we pass it around, I don't know.
yeah. Okay, so my location was the blue dot there.
Oh, I see. So it will ping any place you go in the.
Yep. And you see the arrow there? Tells you which direction you're walking.
So we could put the signs in based on this?
Yes. Yes.
And will it chart a trail for you? Like, will it show you the actual trail that you make?
If you can see it on the satellite view, then, but most times it's trees, so you can't see.
No, but I mean, like, will it trace the path that you walk?
Oh, it will trace wherever you go.
And it'll show you the path that you make.
Will it leave
Not gonna show you the
breadcrumbs?
Huh?
It's not like that the
It's not like a Garmin where it's gonna show your,
Right.
where you've been.
runners.
It's just your location, it's not, no, okay, gotcha.
Your location relative to the boundaries also.
Yeah, like I have mapped my walk, and that will track my actual path.
Right.
You know, if I zigzag or whatever, it'll track all that. I keep track of the mileage for steps.
Gotcha.
Anyway, just something I found. And,
Well, it's terrific.
yeah.
Who needs a surveyor?
Well, that's right. $39, a lot cheaper than whatever he wants to charge us. So, I mean, I guess, do you just want to get it on your phone and then set up a unique?
Yeah, I mean, it's only for $35 a year. I mean,
Right.
it's like, you know,
I think we can pay you.
Yeah. maybe we
That's
can
in the
do it.
budget.
We could do it, but set up a unique login, then we can share the login.
Yeah.
Basically, then anybody can use it, I guess. I mean, not the general public, but amongst us, if somebody's going to have to go do a trail and figure out the boundaries, then we
Yeah.
can.
how you'd have to install the app or how that works.
All right, and then once the ticks abate, we'll go and try to get the trail signs going on Artist Lane. Also, I did go over the parking area in Artist Lane, did get done with the white stone. Looks good, it's a little thick still, but I'm wondering if it'll press down. If not, maybe we can move some of it onto the main driveway. And again, when you go to do the trail signs, we need some entry welcome sign. There is no information inside telling you where to go, what to look at.
Weren't we putting in a kiosk?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have to figure out what is going to go on, either kiosk or just a sign, but yeah, we don't have anything there at the moment. But it takes some thinking about because the parking area and the entry, you have to walk in essentially over a right-of-way to get to where our trails begin. So that people need some instructions. We have to figure out what those instructions are.
Stay right.
As simple as possible, but we do need to do that.
And all the boundary signs, maybe whence the ticks subside, maybe in the fall, maybe Joe and I are go out those place.
Yep. Sounds good.
It's not many of them. There's only like maybe 18 of them, something like that.
You talking about the arrows?
With those little green boundaries.
So
Yeah.
actually mistakes that happen made.
Well, yes, but I think we can actually just use fencing posts and
Yeah.
screw them, because they have holes in them
Yeah.
to put the screws in,
Yeah, too.
so.
Did he make them? Did Hap make those
He
things?
made some,
Yeah.
but it was a little bit of an arduous process, so.
Ken Lewis can give us that thing that pounds them into the ground.
I have
Oh, you got one?
one, two, actually.
I have one as well.
So, so the other thing I want to do is get these signs on the 4 new properties. So I'm just want everybody to look at this and make sure that it's spelled correctly. This is what we want it to be.
Now, the Artist Lane Preserve, is that sign going to be out on Banana Road?
Yes. And then we need to do a smaller one on lot 8 and a smaller one on lot 9.
By that.
Yeah. And by the way, the plan is over the late fall season, on lot 8, is to get rid of all of that invasive Russian olive plantings. Well, there's absolutely loaded with Russian olive trees in there.
Where is this?
On lot 8, which is our narrow entrance in, coming off of the road.
They won't
There's a
die.
trail,
They won't die.
but we're gonna pull them out by the roots.
Oh.
If we could, because that's another thing that we notice, and there are a lot of berries on them. So we get those, right, get them before birds start eating them.
On the Russian olives.
Right, the olive,
Yeah. Well,
there's some in West Neck and there's some in North Banana too. Not a lot, but
okay.
it's like,
I mean, lot 8 is really bad, though. It's basically
Yeah.
just full.
get rid of it.
Is
Is
there
that just us asking Ken Lewis to send a crew to the
Yes.
sites? And then they send us like a invoice? for
Yes.
that?
Yeah. So, but, I mean, we talked about it already. He knows what he has to do. We just decided to wait till after, till the fall. So there's less ticks and,
Oh, with the olive?
yeah. Also less busy. I mean, he sort of has a little gap here now that summer's.
It's fine.
And the other thing we have to talk about is the stewardship plan for Cedars. You have the most extensive knowledge because of your report. Were you going to work on that?
Yeah.
And is that an opportunity to involve that young lady, Liz? Might she be able to help with
Yeah,
that?
you know, I contacted her to see if she could meet with me and Andy, but she was working.
Right.
So it didn't happen. So we'll see. But, you know, it's something that, yes.
So, which brings us to the next topic, Green Expo follow-up. Anybody have any comments? It was good, well attended?
Yeah. I mean, last time we had a schedule. You take 2 hours or 3 hours, you
Right.
take, so I would prefer that
Yeah.
next time.
I agree.
We were in the shade this time, so.
Yeah.
But the good outcome is we had this young woman who worked at Mashomic for 2 years as a
Yeah,
field invasive species person, right, Liz?
Cummings.
Who I met.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she volunteered to help us out in any way that she can, so that's a good thing.
So many books, Catherine.
Yeah, then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the Green Expo.
Yeah, we sold a lot. We sold a lot at the farmer's market. We went there twice. So once people see it, they, you know,
Yeah, it's really amazing.
I'm going to try to, in fact, Kathy's meeting, I don't, today maybe with a couple of the bookstores and
Yeah.
to see if they can sell them for us too.
Right.
So we're putting it out there wherever we can.
Yeah, I have it on my coffee table.
Me too.
My brothers were here this weekend. They enjoyed looking at the Crescent Beach
Yeah, yeah.
stuff because it was really one of the first bargain sales
Right.
stuff around. I was walking along the beach yesterday. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
they gave this to town for $10,000.
Jeez.
Tear to my eye.
I have a time.
I didn't have a heart attack.
Kathleen's not here.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, obviously, that's going to get put off till next year. Anything else?
So these, have these been made?
No, I'm going to
Ordered.
approve them to be ordered. I didn't want to. Many eyes make
Yeah, I
less
know.
errors.
Yeah.
The one that's just the town only, it still needs to say Land Preservation Partnership Program.
Oh, yes, good point.
Which one is that?
Josephson Head.
Oh, yeah. So that's just Shelter Island. So what do you put there?
Just take it out. Just take out the word partnership.
And this, and the icon.
Well, it's both Shelter Island icons.
Oh, okay. What do we have to?
Because typically it's got the county on the other one.
Guess you only need one, right? You only need one here.
You could just go with one.
Good catch, Tim.
Because I hate those plastic signs.
So I'm going to order these today. Any old business? Any business from our audience? Elise or, yes, Carla?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for the kind words about my uncle. Thank you very much for the wonderful white stone, which looks so great, Tui. Thank you very much for taking care of that. It really looks great. I'd mentioned this to you in passing, and I wanted to put it out here for the record, that I hope that when the signs go up, there might be some mention of no biking on the property. We've encountered cyclists coming in, some of them on motorized bikes, and the trails are, I understand, to be designated walking trails. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a nice way to put that we discourage cyclists from coming in.
Just say pedestrians only.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
terrific, that's all. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Thank you
All right.
very much.
Yep. And Carl, if you have any input, or I'll also talk with Bert about that, the entryway, you know, how to direct folks. It's a little complicated, but not that hard. The boundary markers or the trail markers should lead people generally in that direction, so.
Yeah, I like Kathy's suggestion to just go right. So,
Well,
Keeping it
except you're
simple,
sort of
but-
going left, but that's
yeah, oh, maybe,
besides.
okay. Anyway, but thank you. I was concerned about the bikes and I'm really excited about the white stones. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to go on
Yeah.
record for that. Thank you.
And we'll work on figuring out the mowing, because apparently the guy didn't know he was supposed to mow, so,
This is the new guy?
the new guy who didn't contact me, so we'll talk about that too, but,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yep, thank you.
We should get somebody else.
Anybody else? Julie, are you gonna do a review of the book in the Reporter?
Well, a charity did,
Oh,
I think.
Charity did.
nice, good. All right. Any other business? Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting and go to executive
Make a
session?
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.